Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Shambhavi's Spectrum. Today, I have Mukul Anand from R3 Factory, the founder of this company, and it's his brainchild. And they are 3 years old in this market. And I'm going to leave the floor open to Mukul to talk more about what this company is all about, and if it's any hint, sustainability. Thank you, Mukul, for deciding to spend this morning with me. Please give me a little bit of introduction about you and your organization.
Thank you, Shambhavi, for having me here. It's such an honor to talk to my about my story. And as I said, like I'm a bit nervous because this is first time I'm doing it, but I will try to be as good as I can. Uh, I would start with myself. I came to Dubai in 2003, and that time I joined a company called Axiom Telecom. Axiom Telecom was a regional distributor. So my job was I started as a technician. So my job was to test mobile phones. But I also had quality background in me, so I could grew rapidly within Axiom Telecom. I worked there for 13 years. So from technician to head of business development, that was my journey in short. And what I did in 13 years of time span, I was initially I was into service side where after sales service. In the last 4 years, I was into creating new businesses, which is for buyback and then selling the refurbished phone and the customization. In 2016, when I was thinking like, so this is time to create something on my own, I looked back my career. I said, okay, well, fortunately, I've been into the life cycle of the device where I could prepare, I could buy the used devices, I could refurbish and sell it back, and also I could refurbish it. And I was like, because I was all throughout, I was connected into creating the whole business stream out of nothing. So I had the immense, confidence, and thanks to Axiom management, particularly my boss, Mr. Menon and Mr. Faisal Albanai, they gave me immense of opportunity. I think they never let me even take a rest or something. They always kept on my toes. So 13 years of journey had given me enough of confidence that I understand the life cycle of the device. But when I like say working for a company and starting your own is two different things. The first question comes up is like whether you'll get the same salary what you used to get every end of the month. So that was a worry. So I said okay, and and also like no matter what, how much money you have, always this fear is there, a fear of uncertainty. So first year in 2017 when I started saying okay, let me first do if I can survive on my own. So 1 year I used to buy mobile phones from Dubai market, and I used to supply to one of my old friend in Nigeria. So that's how I built it. And I could see that every week we used to have two, three orders, 300 phones we would supply. That was a very good, start. I was fortunate, and God has always been on, I would say, on my side because no matter how difficult markets were, I always got benefited. 18 starting, VAT started, and we felt like we have to shift the gears now. I was like, it was enough for me to like work alone. So then I started like, let me build a company which can also provide opportunity to people. So in March, I started this company called R3 Factory. R3 has R and a 3 number. So there are 3 R's, which is like, which defines me what I've done so far, which is on repair, renew, and reuse. So I said, okay, this is the direction which we want to go. And we were looking at multiple categories like mobile, laptops, gaming, tablet, and
I,
always,
I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you here, Mukul,
yeah,
because I want to understand that I've lived in Dubai for 30 years. And when
yeah,
you say buy back in Dubai, that is itself a new concept,
yes,
right?
yes,
People
yeah,
always just buy new things
yeah,
and just throw everything. And this is not only for electronics, this is for all categories. So,
yes,
how
yes.
do you think this shift in mind came about that people started doing buyback or buy things which are, or you're saying that they are not, it was not here, you were just buying from people and sending it to Nigeria. Was
No,
that
no.
right?
When it comes to used business, so their demand for used mobile phones, in particular, Apple is very huge. and supply is very less. So surprisingly, like not everybody can afford iPhone 12 or 11 or
Yeah,
even for say 10, but
of
there are
course.
people who want to use iPhone, so they want to they are okay to use low versions like say 6, 6s, 7, and 8. Uh, so there are lots of traders, and in particular, UAE market is still not matured compared to US or Japan or Korea. And US and Japan is more of a operator-driven market. So operator would run a scheme where they can buy back from the end customer. They could
Right.
consolidate, and then there are lots of traders based out in Dubai and the Far East where they will keep buying stocks from them,
Mm.
right? They keep buying stock from them and then they distribute from here. So Dubai is like hub for it. There are very few hubs. So Dubai is one of the very bright spot, and I strongly believe that Dubai will play a very vital role in the recycling industry globally, because the way Dubai is positioned, the way the kind of policy this country has, I feel already they do, because lots of used item comes here from all these developed countries and it further get distributed. It's just a matter of further structuring it, putting more controls and a framework. But say if you see the kind of people, the kind of structure, the kind of policies, it's already helping to make it a hub. And I'm sure in time to come, this is what we believe that with uh, having pro people approach and with the strong processes, it is very much possible. So
So,
to answer your question, yes, traders have been dumping stock and get distributed. Whereas when it comes to normal user like say me and you, we don't have much of awareness about the buyback, because we think that okay, I buy an iPhone 10, now I use it for 2 years. Now there's iPhone 11 or 12. We just go and buy it. And when it comes to what about the used phones? So either some people transfer, because now it's easy to transfer data from one phone to another. But most of them actually they keep it ends up being in drawer, and this is
yeah.
where the challenge is. This is where the challenge is. And this is what we are trying to change. We are trying to say, like, every single phone which you keep in a drawer, you're not just saving the phone, you're not just wasting money, you're also contributing to part of landfill. And this is the kind of awareness which we want to create. Obviously, the scope is very vast on R3 side. The scope is very vast, and hence the story of R3. Because some people say, okay, my phone is broken, I want to fix it. No, I hate it, I want to sell it off, or I want to make it look better. So I'm saying that the story helps us to reduce the carbon footprint, reduce the landfill, minimize the greenhouse gases. It all actually hence this is all the good thing which we do, but at the end of the day, the most important is it also helps you to save money, because you can
Right.
still afford to have the same phone at way too lesser price than actually what you buy for a brand new phone. It helps economy, it helps person, it helps environment. So I really see it's a very noble cause. And if you do noble thing, that's also you get a peace of mind. I get lots of peace when I say, okay, I'm into this industry, I'm not into something where I'm contributing to more pollution. Actually, rather I'm reducing the pollution. But
Right.
same time, and as you know, the task is huge. There are lots of work. So our our approach is also pro people. So we really want to really figure it out, that how do we do it?
So you were telling me about R3 factory that you got more people, you employed more people. Let us talk about that a little bit. How did it come out? You said after 1 year on your own, you started this. Please tell me more about that.
Yeah. So as I said, like I did not had very like say 10-year long vision, but I knew that which path I want to follow, and my path was very clear. Like whatever we do, it has to be pro people. Like say normally most of the companies, they look at the bottom line and they say okay, whether they're making a profit or loss, and then they take decisions. So for them, people become like just like say part of the car, like where I think this I'm saying part of any engine or something. People are not treated like a people, and I believe that my philosophy is if you empower people and if you collaborate with some level of control, you can do the magic. And this is what I have done. So with this philosophy, like I started with a couple of people, one or two guys were there, they're part of a journey. And I make sure that while they are part of a journey, they also grow, they also learn, and they get better, best exposure, so they can also get the best in their life. Like when I started my career, I'm thankful to the management of Axiom, because they threw lots of difficult challenges in me, and that what defines me, what who I am today. And now I continue taking bigger challenges, so at least I can redefine myself, I can find myself. So same I think for everybody else. So if you really come here to R3 Factory, you'll see it always buzzing with lots of things which we keep doing. For example, there's a big e-commerce company. They have trusted our capabilities. So what they do, all the goods come back to us. So I'm saying from the work point of view, we are always very busy. We are more of B2B, and because of the good thing which we do, lots of people feel connected. We don't have to really force ourselves to get associated. The same philosophy passes to the people whom we have. So we started, like I started with one guy, and now we are 16 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all full time. The way I see, we'll be growing, like we'll be having collaborative model, because in the COVID era, as you see, uh, like people have learned. Like, so now you're sitting in your home, and I'm in my office, and we can converse. So similarly, working has become very much agile. Like you can just work from anywhere, anything, as far as you know what you have to achieve. So I'm looking at very collaborative model slash freelance model slash empowerment model, where we empower people. Not necessarily, so we will have our framework, and we'll engage people where they add value and they extract value. I don't call them people. I don't want to tell people, okay, I'll pay you a salary. I really want to have people who will earn. So that kind of framework which we want to have, and we have a good system in place. I'm sure they will achieve that. That's how we want to win trust of people and expand our base. I hope that
That,
makes sense to you.
of course, yes, that does. In fact, I'm reminded of the movie Rocket Singh, I think, Salesman of the Year, where he has everybody in partnership. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've
So,
seen it. Yes, yes,
yeah, so
correct.
it's like everybody's in partnership, and then when everybody has a stake,
Yes,
not maybe financial, but an emotional stake, I think you
yes,
hold people more. And it's great to see that you're appreciating your mentors who have probably contributed without your realizing, or with you realizing, to make you into a great leader, right? And that is how you're following. And the fact that you think that they are part of your company, not just like you said, for paying salaries, I think that is a great approach. It is a much needed approach to the human capital to be not just used, but to
yes.
actually be appreciated. I think that's a great approach. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people with you in the long journey that you're going to take. So now I understand that you're doing more of a B2B model. And of course, you do have B2C, and that's how we met. I also had come to your store. So when can you run me through the process of what happens when somebody like me comes with a device to your store? And you could also run me through a process of when somebody is searching for a device and when they come to your store. So then how does R3 USP start action there?
Okay. So, see, actually, I think just let me talk a little bit about B2B and B2C. See, when I started the company, I'll little debate form and try to come to the point which you are actually looking for. So, I believe that when you want to build a business, you have to have very good, flow of money, which you can use it to build a company. It's like, you need to have water to plant, and it will give you fruits and a flower. So, from this analogy, either you get the external water, borrow money from here and there and do it, or you do it in a manner you build a model which has already flow of water, and same time you also have plants which is like seeds which already go in. So that's how we work on this philosophy. So obviously we want to really create a end customer brand. Like say today, now it's been 3 years, and obviously from day one we will not have enough of customer coming in directly which can meet our cost. So what we did, we partnered with B2B companies like Lenovo and Sony and some e-commerce company and so on, and we continue doing it. So we said, okay, fine, we can look after your DOA end of life product. You give it to us, we will treat it well, and we'll give you good returns. So that's how they stay satisfied, and they also get best possible return. And same time, we keep eye on our goal of reaching to end customer like you. And how we do it, like say so far, we have not really invested much of money in going B2C, because we really want to be, we believe in creating product. I strongly believe that word of mouth travel faster than any other medium. Like if I generally help you, and if I generally try to serve you, there's a great chance that you will at least tell 10 other people whenever they are in need. And that's how actually we work. We are always loaded with friends and their connections and lots of people. They always keep coming back to us. Not because we make them happy by giving some gifts. We make them happy by trying to listening to their problem and solve the problem. So just to come to your question, so for example, if you give you a device, what would happen is, like, say we have a system in place. We have this out what we have done in the last 3 years. We have completely mapped our processes. So we create a job card, and so it gets registered. So your property remains secured, and we properly secure it. Goes to technical technician, then he diagnose the problem and say, okay, this what spare parts are needed, and then he would place an order. For example, now he will check whether the part is available in the store or he has to order it. So now we have one person who looks into this, and if it is needed, he places order from the different vendors. We have some Chinese vendor, we have some local vendors. Parts do come in, it gets consumed, then we further call you back, and then we will. That's how we coordinate, and we continuously working on to improve the process. Earlier it was done manually. For example, you came to our place. Now, if you see on 10th of February, by the way, which was also my date of birth, so
Wow.
yeah. So,
Happy birthday, belated
thank,
wishes.
you,
Yeah.
thank you. So I told my team, and in fact, you may know Saraswati. So
Yes.
she's a bright child, and I gave her idea, like, say, Saraswati, this is what we can do. Saraswati, and then there's a guy called Hasib. He looks into our IT system. Thing. So she developed the whole page, and we worked hard. We worked hard with some vendors based out of India, and we created a platform. So today, if you go to our platform, you can select the device, you can select the problem, and you can straight away request whether you will you will come to us, or you look for the home pickup. So that's how we will expand. So we'll go completely digital in next 2 to 3 months time. You'll see the complete journey, whether be to repair, be you want to sell your device, or we want to protect, or you want to buy warranty to it, or you want to make it look better. Everything complete R3 framework which you can think of for your device will be completely online, and we are towards it.
Okay, it's so great, and you have actually brought the conversation around to word of mouth and to marketing. And you also mentioned Saraswati, and I know that Saraswati has been working on the digital component part of, some little bit of social media, and she keeps the company active on LinkedIn as well. Can you tell me what are the other marketing, channels that you use for spreading the word about the company? And I know that you're into pull marketing because, like you said, you want everybody to come to you rather than you talk about yourself. But tell me more about what kind of marketing do you do, and how do you track that marketing, how effective it is?
See, as I said, I think these all things are new buzzword. To tell you the truth, uh, when I started it, I only knew one thing, that I had to build a good product, and everything else will follow. And this is what exactly we have been working towards it. And building good product means all it requires is full sincerity and honesty. Nothing else. There's no magic formula as such. Like, say, whatever we do, we have to remain and do it right. So when it comes to B2B business, so all we try to do to deliver our best and be completely honest about it. Even if something goes wrong, we just go and tell our client, saying, this is wrong, and this is what we're not very happy with it. So sometimes they like our honesty. So I would say, the principle, for us, the ground principle to really win the client is the honesty and the straightforwardness, which actually helps in most of the cases, if not all, in most of the cases. When it comes to B2C, as I said, we have been thinking like what we want to offer and how do we want to offer. And I strongly believe that it will be through the people and by the people. So when I said, like, our marketing approach is going to be different when it comes to B2C, I'm not in a rush. So we are gradually building it. We already have some customers who keep coming to us, that they come through word of mouth, referrals, and obviously through social media. But to tell you the truth, we don't track it. It's not. I don't see that as a pressing need now. It will become a need at later stage when we are full fledged on B2C. So that's how I'm just, like, say, prioritizing it. Obviously, I would like to know whether through referrals or through website, through wherever they come. Uh, and But honestly, we don't track
You
currently.
don't track that,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
you've got great foundation that you're product is the most important thing, your customer is the most important, your employees are most important. I think your foundations are laid out very beautifully, and I must congratulate you, Mukul, that you are able to see that vision, that what is it which will help you carry, because somewhere down the line people start losing on that, and then the honesty part of which you are saying, I think that is what we need to be honest to ourselves as well as to whoever we are dealing with. The minute you are, people may not like it, like you said, but I
Sure,
think in the long run, that is what will remain. And at least you sleep peacefully because you've
sure.
been honest to yourself. So that is really great. I understand that you're
Can I
not
add
doing
one
any.
more thing here? Say, for example, like say, imagine you have a hospital, okay? Hospital who treats the patient well, they don't have to go out and say, see, we have very good kidney transplant or we do very good brain surgery. It's about like, and similarly with us, like when it comes to repair, if you do good job, and I see phone as a patient, and we treat
I
every
see
patient
that.
very
I can see that you think
yeah,
of yourself as a surgeon. That's so great. Tell
yeah.
me, please.
So,
Yeah.
so, so when we treat every patient properly, even though there are some are like say non-recoverable, we still treat them very fairly well. And when I say fairly well, like for example, something comes up and we say sorry, we can't fix it. We see if it has a resale value. If it can, because see, sometimes, for example, you bring in some device, and if it has some value, we always say, okay, fine, it's not repairable, but no point in you accumulating junk at your home. Probably we can offer you value, right? So that's where everybody is a winner, and because and I think this is the kind of thing which we continue doing it. So when we make a customer winner, I think you're a winner by itself. You don't have to go and say how great you are. I think people know what exactly you're doing and how you can really be helpful.
I think you've given us some wonderful insights. Just some quick questions which I want to ask. Do you write a blog?
No time actually to
No
tell
time.
honestly, but I would
Do,
love to do it, and wherever I get time, I do write.
okay.
But I think as I said, we are in current state of mind, we feel submerged,
The,
and
the
that's
reason
how.
I ask, yeah, the reason I ask about a blog is, like you said, there is no time, and most of the time, the thoughts which run across, we are not able to document them. But
Okay.
I do believe that that will be a repository of information and learning for the next generations. That's why I usually ask this question, whether you write a blog, and
Yeah.
especially in a field like yours, which there is so much scope, because e-waste is never going to go away, right? Like how my scrap waste is never going to go away, for you also the e-waste is never going to go away. How we can reduce it, how we can and renew it, those are the things which one needs to think about. So that's why I was just asking you. And
That's a wonderful suggestion. I think
oh,
for sure.
thanks. Yeah, so maybe just some short snippets also, just to kind of keep the thing. And now there's a lot about vlogs, so you can just do a video log if you don't have enough time to type and stuff. Just do put up a video that might actually also help people understand your business model. I mean, this is it just came out of the blue. Do you
Sure,
do
sure.
newsletters? Do you do newsletters?
No, so far, as I
So
said, I
far,
think no,
okay,
no,
all
no.
right. So now I'm just trying
But
to
these
understand.
all things will for sure start.
Yeah.
And as I said, like say we have a small team, and I think the way we comprise of like we have the as I said, with 15 people. Like say Jabi looks into sales, you met him, and then Kenneth looks in technical operation. He has got Eris and Suleiman and the technical team Mahmood, and then we have the inspection team, which is like Mary and Ivy. I'm just trying to take these
Yeah,
names
no,
at
so
least I
you're
can.
telling,
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
So when you're telling me about your team, let's talk a little bit about management stuff.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you have regular team meetings and stuff? Do you have like Monday morning? Do you something you have to have? Everybody does meet.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that? Do you have
Yeah,
insist on?
yeah. So basically, I'm a firm believer of the way Toyota works, and fortunately, in my previous company, I was trained on a TPS. In fact, prior to previous company, in fact, I was fortunate. From day one itself, I was exposed to Toyota ways of working. So we try the 5S, Kaizen, all those Pokayoke and all the stuff. And my first boss taught me about need for DWM, daily work management meeting. So it's sort of standing meeting where we talk about briefly about vision, but more of operations, that how well we are doing, what's our target. So that is the culture. Obviously, I'm not saying we are perfect yet, but we try not to. We don't miss any opportunity where we have to tell people, and we also want to hear them out. It's not just about I speak and they listen. In fact, we want to make sure it becomes very engaging conversation where you also hear them out. But sometimes when you have limited time, you have to just say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say, and they all become aligned. But most of the time, yes, So certain meetings are long, like say, which takes at least 35 to 40 minutes, and the evening meeting, which is more about the productivity and the looking back what we have done into the numbers and all that. It's a short. That's our daily work management meeting, which Vishal does it. You met him as well.
Yeah.
So and we do try to do 15-20 minutes maximum.
So
The
you are
work.
telling me also that you do delegation of meetings. So it's not that you have to be there in
No,
all
no,
of
no, no,
them.
no. No,
You have.
we have a very flat structure. We strongly believe that we don't have a title, rather we have a role. Let's say I say that I'm a salesperson. I do sales. I bring in business. So I'm more on the BD side, business development side. And like say Haseeb, he looks into IT system and accounts. And we are a very open company. And I think I would like to keep the company open, where everybody knows what they are and how they are contributing to the business. And I'm, by the way, I'm also very much inspired by Devi Shetty, the guy who's known as the Ford of heart surgeries. I've seen the way he works, where every single doctor knows that how much impact they have made into the whole commercial. So similarly, in our company, today we are 16. Tomorrow, whether 16,000 people, whatever number come, uh, uh, throughout the journey, people will be aware how they are performing and how the company is performing. They can see the correlation.
From your mouth to God's ears, Mukul, I definitely wish you all the very best for 16,000 and more from there. Just a little bit before we sign up, little bit about your personal background, as in what is your study background, educational background, and your family. How did they feel when you quit a proper salary paying job and joined this? How did your family support you? I mean, without their support, this would not have been possible, I'm sure. So tell me, how did they support? What kind of a role did they play?
Okay, so coming to the background, like I did engineering back in 2002 from Agra University, and it was a private college. So I think once you get into see, in India, if you get into IITs or private college, I one thing which I knew that I have a tough journey. I had to really study hard, get good score, and prove myself. So I think the journey was like say from the beginning itself. When I got into engineering college, I knew that I have to really work hard to achieve whatever. So that's how it started. And my parents have been very supportive. In fact, they have been very pushy. In fact, my father has always been like I would say he will always keep like say keep asking how things, what is happening. They keep reminding me about like say that we all have to create value for others, and that's one thing which has been there constant. That was back in 2002, 2009. I got married. Until 2009, I had like I was working for Axiom, and in fact, I was continued working even after marriage. But nine, I became very like I was fortunate. Like say suddenly from the project manager, I became a country head. So I would always tell my wife, like, "See, look, you came into my life, and they recognized me and they gave me bigger position. Obviously, salary also increased and all the stuff. And then I went. That was time when I went to Saudi Arabia, and my job was difficult because every day I had to come from Bahrain to Saudi and up and down. But she was very much supportive because she obviously, I would have to spend around 13, 14, 15 hours, 16 hours on the job, and she never complained. And rather, she was all supportive, saying, "Okay, fine." She would understood. Imagine, like, say, some newlywed come, and if you don't give enough time to your family, that has been there. I would say, I think my regret is where I don't give enough of time to the family. At the same time, I can also I say that I must acknowledge that the kind of I would say support which I've got, like say allowing me to do what I want to do. Sometimes when you are too ambitious, I think something you sacrifice. So that's the sacrifice which I have done. I have two kids with the God's grace, and uh, like say they are very very well. What you call they're very lit up, very bright kids, and thanks to their mother, like she really look after them well. So that kind of support which I have got. So psychologically, back of my mind, I don't have any what you call worry as such, wherein I would say, okay, there's something being missed out because being an entrepreneur where you have to spend around 14, 15, 16, 18 hours, countless hours, no weekend. Uh, and if you don't have this kind of support, you can't achieve what you're achieving. So I hope that's, yeah.
That's very true. And yes, before if you would you have a message for the new generation? My audience is students and other business people, maybe budding entrepreneurs. Do you have a message for them which you would like to give? And anything, any mantra that you've lived by your life all along, which has kept you on a high all the time?
Yeah, I think the key success mantra is first and foremost never be afraid of failure. And the big one is, like, say, throughout my journey, one thing is very common, that I was always proposed with bigger challenges. So whenever you have challenges, be it personal, professional, even on a studies, whatever challenges comes, it always redefines you. For example, if you're a student, and as I said, when I was in engineering college, I would get in engineering, they teach you lots of difficult, complicated subjects, and if I had run away from those subjects, I would not learn it. Even though you may not have 100% understanding, but fighting with it, learning with it, redefines you. So no matter what challenges comes on the way, we have to always give our best, because it redefines us and also improves our level. Then we'll have bigger challenges. If you really want to grow in your career, I think one should never be afraid of challenges and take it as it comes without having any fear.
That's such a great message, and I would like to call up for action to my audience to say that if you have any device which you would like to see if you can increase the lifespan of it, or repair or renew, or kind of what can be done with it, you should visit R3 Factory, or at least you should contact them. I'll leave the contact link in the description box, and Mr. Mukul and his team, they will definitely help and extend the life. Let us save this earth together from the landfill and from all the pollution possible, and let us take care of our carbon footprints in various ways that we can, including saving our e-waste. Thank you so much, Mukul, for your time. It's been a great pleasure. And I look forward to seeing your organization grow. And I look forward to seeing you again in a session where we have other things to talk about. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Shamli. Thank you. Thanks a lot.